Okay, we have officially started streaming. Let me copy the link of live in order to share. Oh, this is not. Bro. Okay, girls, this is the link I've already passed you at the WhatsApp group in order you can share. I'm trying to share it on Instagram. I don't know how. Mm, Mivas, I have three of them. Actually, I have one from my cousin Eric.
So I have a question. The three viewers is our students or teachers,
Beg your pardon.
or are we?
We must start when we complete 20 students. Am I the only one who experiment this trouble with the platform? Mm,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Mm, I don't know where are the training students we need. I send all my students.
These 7 viewers are my students.
I'm gonna check it.
Is our students or teachers? Beg your pardon? Or are we? We must start when we complete 20 students. When we complete 20, 20 viewers,
I guess so.
or maybe start before, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can start and wait for the rest of the participants.
Okay. I don't know what happened with Samantha.
She's like in the waiting room or stuff like that. It's in the backstage.
Okay. I think that we have to start. I'm gonna share the link with professor, and then we start. Okay. Okay. Link is share. I'm gonna share some two more students. Okay. Welcome everyone. This is the group of UNEMI students of the master degree of EFL, and today we are sharing some topics about digital environment. In my case, this is Nick, and I'm talking about the importance of practicing receptive skills with technology. What are receptive skills? In language learning, receptive skills are the skills through which learners receive and understand language input, primarily listening and reading. This is basically what us, as our native language is Spanish, we start by connectors. First of all, um, maybe time expression as always, forever, never. We can have vocabulary like kitchen vocabulary, kitchen, shelf, knife, cupboards. We have actually maybe living room vocabulary. We have maybe sofa, curtains. So receptive skills like listening and reading start step by step. And it is well known that we commonly were taught as students of English in maybe we had to make handwritten stuff, handwritten homeworks. But now with technology, we can improve that, not just because technology is advancing, but actually because our students now they are getting used to technology, so we must adapt in order they can understand what we're teaching, because teaching another language it is not that easy. So technology is our best tool to teach now. Why receptive skills matter? Fundamentally, for comprehension of spoken and written language, they form the base for overall language proficiency. As I said, the most important part to understand the speaking and writing language of another one that is not our native language, it is really important to comprehend. And if we are teaching, if we are a professor of teenagers, we must endorse the new ways of using technology to teach the language. We actually have in receptive skills matter through listening and reading. Learners are exposed to vocabulary, grammar, expression, realistic language used in context. Strong receptive skills support and boost the development of productive skills like speaking and writing. Let me set you an example. If we are having in class maybe a speaking or writing topic, maybe a really good tool that we can use can be Wordwall. We can practice the writing stuff, the writing matter, or maybe grammar. So doing this, a student get used to technology. They can actually play with the Wordwall, and they get understanding because they are comprehending. It is not the same as we were taught before that if we are learning maybe fast conditional and at home at class in the board, and then we send something the same stuff, but the first conditional is not with the auxiliary will, the first conditional is with the auxiliary unless. So students are not comprehending and they are not getting in touch because you're doing something that it is practically old. So technology can help us in that way. Challenge in traditional receptive skills. Limited exposure in class reading or listening often constrained by textbook materials or class time. In this case, as I said, the lack of authentic diverse materials like accent topics and styles, they don't let us free our all our capacity to make our students understand the topics. Let me set you another example. It is not the same that we in class use textbooks materials that maybe are first conditional. We have first conditional with will, we have first conditional with may, we have first conditional with unless. So let's say that in these textbook materials that we use in class, we are having a first conditional with will, but in technology matters, we can have the first conditional with will, the first conditional with may, the first conditional with unless. And the students are not just going to learn the structure, hey, student, copy the structure. We have now if, then we have plus a simple present. That's the if clause. Then we have the main clause. It is the subject, that is the auxiliary will, and there is the complement, or maybe the verb in base form. So these are some examples in, if remember, if simple present, you have he, she, it, personal pronouns, the verb change, and stuff. Mm, that's maybe a way we will learn, but now it's really easy to understand it. Why? Because we have the opportunity to learn it by practical matters. For example, wormwood. That's actually gonna be my scientific article with my partner Berlin. We are working on it, and it's about this. Hey students, we're now going to learn first conditional coming from maybe, I don't know, Olvera, coming from. We are talking now first conditional. I taught you the structure. Now complete. Students are practicing in class the grammar and are practicing in class with technology. Word will let students understand by making mistakes, not just by making sentences. So if a students maybe make a mistake in Wordwall in front of the screen, then they are going to learn after the mistake or after when they get the homework done in class or maybe at home, they are going to understand a little bit more because they are getting in touch with technology and they're getting in touch with the grammar. It is not the same just to get in touch with the grammar with boring sentences and then they in practice they're gonna say, "Oh, I remember teacher taught us that it was really important to understand the grammar." Yes, to comprehend the grammar. Yes, but what if you don't put it in practice? You didn't put it in practice because it's really boring to go and make sentences in handwritten form. We have now Wordwall, we have Parole maybe, and these tools, this technology tool helps us as professor and help students to understand more. And that's something we encourage to professors uh, to learn how to make new process of English with technology tools. Actually, motivation issues really matter. Learners may find reading or listening practice repetitive or boring without meaningful context. That's something that I was saying. If we start with this kind of students that are not same as we were before, they are not getting in touch the same way we did. That's not logical. If we practice, we'll learn English based on a really limited and constrained English way of teaching. Now with the tools that are more effective, we can make a shortcut way in order that students can understand a really easy way. If we learn it by handwriting, our students now may learn it by technology. And that's something we encourage to use whether teachers or whether students who wants to understand a little bit more of English. These are practical recommendations for teaching and learning. Integrate technology, use podcasts, videos, online articles, ebooks. Design tasks with variety, like just listening, daily reading, summarizing, informating, and reflection. Encourage regular self-direct practice, autonomous learning. Let learners choose topic relevant to them, not just topics that we think they are important, but topics that students feel comfortable with it. Actually, we have to use blended approach, like combine traditional classroom work with technology-based homework or self-study. It is not just to teach grammar, but also to make a student research the grammar. We have the monitor progress like periodically assess comprehension in order we can understand if students are learning or not, or we can change maybe in the future while we are teaching, the way we are teaching. And that's something, and that's my part about technology, and that's my recommendation. Thank you for listening. Now we're going to continue with my another partner. Thank you.
Excellent, Nate. That sounds great. Hi everyone, my name is Erika and now I'm going to explain about the boot widgets. Help me with the next slide, please. Mm, okay, okay, guys. First of all, before to start, create your own interactive exercise in how to grade assignments in minutes. Boot widgets uh, has the benefits about motivate your students. You can use formatting student evaluation, follow students and progress in real time, and set time grading and feedback immediately. For example, now, first after logging into Boot Widgets, the first of all importance is when you create a web quest. It is a useful digital tool because you can start building each section. You can the introduction, task, process, resource, and evaluation. You can easily add text, image, videos, links, interactive activities, and even your rubric directly inside the web quest. For example, now I'm gonna explain step by step when you need to create an account. For example, first one, open book widgets and sign. For example, if you have your email or you have institutional email, it's good. Then you can click in create or create a new widget. When you create a new widget, create a button, you say now click create. This is where we start a new widget. For example, think of a widget as a one activity or page. You can do web quests, you can do questionnaires using this platform book widgets. When you find the web quest option on the screen, use the search box or browse the activity list. Look for web quests if you don't see it. For example, in the list, when you can find the web quest, change the language to English or type any another language, for example, Spanish, French, etc. For example, when you when you web quest, you can combine another subjects. For example, if you have a project when you need to combine subjects such as history, language, English, philosophy, web quest is the main, for me, is the main digital tool we can learn and combine. Why? Because this This has introduction, tags, exercise you can create in the same page, resource for your students. It's so easy to share the link with another people, another students, or another teachers. For example, in this case, the resource, you can, on the final section, you can include the evaluation rubric. And screen paste your rubric, format a page evaluation rubric so students know how they will be graded, vocabulary, grammar, participation, and completion. For example, you can write a short conclusion. For example, you can give them feedback. Well done. Share your final product and in conclude follow up suggestions for teachers. And finally, you can check. You can check in real time your student. And for example, that's all. You can check everybody into the web quest. You can take a checklist, for example, title, subtitle, introduction, objectives, tasks, step by step, interactive active, resource links, evaluation rubric, share the link generated. And that's all about the benefits when you can create a web quest into the book widgets platform. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Well, let me thank Edka. That were really useful educational resources. Now let's talk about TED. This is an educational platform created to make learning more dynamic, interactive, and accessible. So TED allow us to take any video, either from the platform or you can get a video from YouTube and turn it into a complete lesson with questions, discussions, and additional resources. Personally, I think this platform it's really useful because I'm always, as a teacher, I'm always looking for tools that help me make my classes more dynamic and meaningful. So we know that students learn better when they're curious, engaged, and involved in the process. So in this platform, students can go step by step while also giving them space to think, explore, and participate. So that's why I think this platform TED it's valuable. It's a valuable resource, not only for teachers but also for students as well. So now let's see why TED, why what we can do with this platform. Well, we can create lessons based on videos, as I mentioned before, from YouTube or from the platform. Then we can customize those lessons by adding questions, discussions, and extra materials. We can also encourage students' interaction through discussions prompts. And finally, we can track their answers and progress. So, in simple terms, this platform uses, like a regular video into a full learning experience. Now, how we can create our first lesson in this platform? Well, as a step number one, we can choose or upload a video, right? So it can be from the platform library or any educational video from YouTube. Step number two, customize the lesson. Okay, here we can add multiple choice questions. What else? We can add open-ended questions, reflection prompts, and links or additional resources. And we have as a final step number three, adapt the lesson to our students. We can adjust difficulty, add instructions, and include activities that reinforce learning. Well, it's really simple. You can, go on the platform and see what kind of resources, what kind of steps you can choose and follow. Now, how to publish and use a lesson in this classroom? Well, okay, once the lesson is ready, the vet let us publish it and give us a link. Okay, we can share the link with the students through WhatsApp, um, Google Classroom, even from emails or any platform. Also into that, we can do, like warm up activities, we can send homework, or any kind of reinforcement to the lesson. And well, the platform also saves students' answers so we can track participation and see how each student is doing. So to sum up, that it's a modern, it's not really popular, but it's modern, easy to use, and a powerful tool that promotes participation, critical thinking, and independent learning. It helps us move from simple presenting information to like a guiding students through their learning process. That's why it's an excellent option to innovate in the classroom. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. It's a pleasure being here. And now we're going to talk about how BEL Telegram class it's based on daily routines. We know that we are in the technological era. We know WhatsApp, we know Instagram, and as well we have work or maybe we have used Telegram. During this BEL Telegram class based on daily routines, we created an virtual environment using Telegram designed for A1 English learners and integrates the four main skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And it's important to know that here, Telegram allows us to send different files or as well as audios to get a better interaction with our students. Okay, we could send voice notes, live worksheets, Google Forms. Yeah, the lesson followed the pre, while, and post methodology to strengthen comprehension and production. The environment promotes participation, accessibility, flexibility, and digital literacy. Okay, the class development and interaction. It was multimedia-based engagement. As shown in one of the screenshots, students interact with introductory presentations, image-based warm-ups, audio files, short reading text for comprehension, vocabulary leads, and matching activities. Here in Telegram, it's important to explain that we ask students to participate in that moment, okay? We were texting in that moment. Students as well were asked to answer questions like, when do you usually wake up? And not only through messages, they have to send audios, they have to read paragraphs about different topics regarding as well daily routines. And they must produce something. In this case, write 5 sentences about their own daily routine using a model explained during the whole class. Okay, so let's go. Yeah. Regarding the reflection personal insights, what stood out? The Telegram class became highly interactive thanks to the multimedia tools. We use voice notes, emojis, and quick responses created a dynamic environment. It has a connection to prior knowledge, aligns with the communicative approach, as I explained, and the pre, while, and post structure. Knowledge of student-centered learning reinforces the activity's purpose. Future application, Telegram is accessible and user-friendly, ideal for speaking tasks, vocabulary practice, listening exercises, interactive challenges, and it's beneficial for shy students. Why? Because we are not in a face-to-face class, or we are not connected through a computer. We know we are just answering, we are just sending messages. So maybe they can feel better in that environment where they don't have to talk each other. Okay, let's go with the next one, please. Regarding the student data and results, most of our students prefer videos as well, reading and games. Why? Because they just need to watch video. We know that most of our students have different intelligences. So maybe they are more visual rather than kinesthetic students. That's why they were not keen on audios or stuff like that. Regarding the availability, the 50% was in the evening, the 30% in the afternoon, and the 20% in the morning. Because we have a lot of things to do, like during the day. And in the evening is the space that we have more chance to learn something. Regarding the English levels, the 40% were beginners, the 30% intermediate, and the 30% as well advanced. Reasons they like English in this case, in this BEL environment, it's first of all the curiosity, desire to learn, more enjoyment, and the skill development. Okay, so I guess that we have finished with this interesting, I can say, lecture, interesting talk. I really hope that we can join together maybe another time. And don't forget that English is a really useful tool if we want to get a higher step, if we want to have a higher step during our learning environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope this small guide helps you feel more comfortable using digital tools. See you the next time. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming. We are really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.